又到咗今朝有酒時間，今日咧我哋有位外籍朋友喺度啊，咁啊大家都即係好期待噶啦嚇。咁因為外籍朋友喺度啦，咁我哋要講英文噶嘛，我哋要做麗音廣播啦，係嘛嚇。So now we have to switch into English.
Welcome, Zoltan.
And we have to welcome our guest tonight, and we are so honored and glad to have this. You're from Hungary?
I'm from Hungary.
Yeah. Please don't speak Hungarian in this program.
I have to teach you how to say cheers.
Okay,
You know?
good. So, Zoltan, would you mind to introduce yourself a bit to our audience?
Yeah, thank you so much. So it's been a long time, Kat. We are trying to
Do something.
do this, but I've been traveling around as well. So my name is Zoltan, and originally I'm coming from Hungary. However, I left Hungary when I was 17-year-old. I went to study bars and to be a bartender in London. When I was 17, I spent 12 years there, mostly nightclubs, and then I created my own company. We had an events company, and then a little bit in Spain, and 8 years, almost 9 years in Hong Kong. Right now, I'm living in Taiwan since May because that's the third biggest whiskey market actually in the world. So they needed me, but I'm still coming back home here, and I'm very happy to be back. So thank you for having me.
Welcome back, Hong Kong. Good to see you again.
Actually, we used to manage Honey together. So she was head bartender, I was bar manager, and Honey in Central. Rum bar. We had like 300 plus bars.
Oh.
We have the same tattoo.
Yes.
Oh, really? Show it to our audience.
I showed mine before already, in my legs.
Yeah. And how did you get to know Kat?
So I think we knew each other from Honey, right?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah, when we started work, and then
Hong Kong industry is really close, so
yeah, Hong Kong
you just know
industry
each other.
is pretty.
Yeah. Come in. Yeah,
Come in.
Yeah. Just put
Thank
it down.
you.
Put it down. It's okay. Yeah. Never mind. Our audience is very appreciative.
Yeah, they understand.
They understand.
Thank you. Yeah, Hong Kong industry is pretty small. Actually, the world is pretty small if you're talking about it. You know, the more and more you grow up and the more and more you are traveling, more and more you realize that actually this industry is quite small and we all
Connected to each other.
You know, looking after each other.
Yeah. So how do you feel about Hong Kong wine industry or the Hong
Whiskey
Kong bar
bars.
and things like that?
Yeah, honestly, you know, the hope was lost for a bit in Hong Kong bar industry, but now we are back and hopefully we'll be back on track very soon. Now all the restrictions, lifting, so hopefully...
The restrictions are lifting tonight.
When we're doing recording tonight,
Exactly.
it's fun when they lift a bit, but...
So hopefully it's gonna, bring back a few people because Hong Kong was the center of Asia, right? So we did incredible bars, and actually the world globally, they started to recognize not just Asia but Hong Kong. So Hong Kong was the window of professional bartending, and in here.
I love to say that it's a window for professional bartending, not window for China. I like it so much.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. It was. So the world was looking at us, and now unfortunately, this 3 years now, it's shut the door on us.
Again, so
Maybe, of course, Hong Kong always going to be back.
And how would you compare the bars in Hong Kong and those in Taiwan or in Taipei?
It's different. The audience and the clientele is different. So Taiwan is still a little bit more local side. However, I really think that the drink quality and the bartenders and the mixologists, they are very passionate bartenders in Taiwan and pretty much very, very similar. So So there's a very small industry there as well, emerging industry, very fast.
Yes, the whiskey is very good.
Yeah, the whiskey is very good. So,
whiskey, yeah.
And Hong Kong, as it's a little bit older in industry in this way. So more established bars, but it's they're getting up there. So
Yeah. So what will you tell us about whiskey tonight?
So we talked with Kat, and we chose actually bourbon tonight. Lots of people love single malts and Scotch whiskey, However, lots of people don't know about bourbon and American whiskies. So that's how we choose. This is Company Group's bourbon, one of our Company Group's bourbon, and this is an emerging, really upcoming category actually in the world.
So how would you compare the whiskey of Scotland and whiskey of, let's say, Kentucky or Tennessee?
Yeah, so basically American whiskies is about the 17th century when the whole American whiskey boom started, because the settlers from Ireland and Scotland, they moved to America, and they started to distill their little rye whiskies and malted barley whiskies up north. However, they got taxed and they started to travel down to south, and they found a beautiful area called Kentucky.
Yeah.
But they couldn't make rye whiskies because the climate was not good. So they started to experiment with corn. And bourbon is based on the majority, at least 51% has to be corn.
Corn.
So you will find it a little bit on the sweeter side. It's exactly because of corn. However, the original whiskey actually, what started and as an American whiskey, it was rye. So we are using, in Wild Turkey, we are using about quite a big percentage of rye whiskey, and that's why
More spicy.
a little bit more bolder. Our whiskey is a little bit more
Like
bolder. And thank you, I'm getting more. Yeah, and so basically the whiskey is very good in cocktails and bartenders. This is really a bartender's choice, especially the 80-year-old. This is a new expression for us. It was 101 before, and we switched it to the 80-year-old because it's super bold taste in old-fashioned and all the classic
Oaky as
cocktails.
well.
Yeah. It has to be a brand new oak aged. So
I drink Wild Turkey 101
Cheers.
every single day.
Yeah.
Literally, I'm not joking. If our audience used to listen to my other show up in our Sunday live podcast, I always sometimes do it in my bar. And I always drink and then talk.
yeah.
You can see the whiskey bottle I pour literally. I always show the label. That's the Wild Turkey 101.
Yeah. So do you feel any difference between the 101 and 80-year-old 101?
I think the oak is more preference and nose. A bit more less sweet, spicier, but it lingers longer. Feels a little bit. I think it's still less sweet in palate.
Yeah. So this is about about half a year of aging does to the whiskey. So because 101 is about 7.5, it's a blend of whiskeys, and this one is at least 80-year-old whiskey liquid in there. So this is what I wanted to show you tonight, and yeah, there's a significant difference. However, you can't really feel it in in cocktails,
yes.
because it's still like bold, very rounded whiskey, and
Yeah, because bourbon sometimes other brand maybe even more smokier or on a sweeter side. Either way, maybe it's super smoky or super like Uncle Western guys smell it. I don't think. It's not, yeah. Or on the other side, it's more the charcoal the barrel, the super vanilla, super toast, super Irish.
yeah, because
This is more in the middle. So.
American bourbon, bourbon, it has to be aged in new charred American oak barrel. So in single malt whiskies, we are using ex-bourbon, ex-sherry, which is, you want to have the bourbon flavor in, a little bit bourbon flavor in those whiskies, and the aftermath of it. In here, we need fresh wood, charred fresh wood, and we are using number 4 char with these 4 different levels.
Which 4 level? I don't know that one.
And this is, we have the number 1, 2, 3, 4, and the number 4 is called the alligator char, because that's when you burn it the most.
Okay.
So you need to burn the wood basically inside, so the liquid can
Sip in.
penetrate in
Okay.
to the wood, and it's like a soft sponge.
Oh, it is on the label.
Yes.
Classic number 4 char.
there you go.
Oak, yeah. And why is it 101?
Because it's a good question, thank you. It's because it's a 101 proof. So the states have this measure system, which is proof. And if you just half it, it's a metric system, and it becomes our metric system, which is 50.5% on alcohol.
Yeah.
Which means in one bottle there is 50.5% is alcohol, and the rest is whatever, water or whatever is there. That's what it means.
Yeah.
And the proof is basically back in the old days when they were sailing and they were selling alcohol, and that's how they detect if they're selling water or real alcohol. they put it on gunpowder.
Okay.
And if the gunpowder lit, then
Okay.
it was the proof that it was alcohol.
It is something like Maltai in China.
Yeah, if you burn down your table in America.
Yeah, if you burn the table, then you can drink it. Amazing, yeah.
So, how about the whiskey drinking in Hong Kong? Are they many of them or just a few of them?
Oh, whiskey is very popular. Yeah. Single malt whiskey, especially. So it's been not just drinkers, but it's investors as well.
I see.
So now the investing in whiskey is the number 3-4 most valuable investment right now.
I don't know. I didn't know that. What
Yeah, it's actually better than sports cars and with watches and all that.
I should buy one bottle.
You should, yeah. So basically, that's why I brought the next one. This is the Decade. So this is a collector's item.
Yeah.
And I thank you for the question. It's a good question, especially bourbon. So bourbon is having a little bit of difficulty times right now.
Yeah.
Because 15 years, bourbon started to boom. We had a movement called Prohibition in 1919 in America.
Yeah.
When they banned alcohol consumption, production. They basically banned anything to do with alcohol. Bourbon disappeared, and in the 1980s, end of 1980s and the beginning of 1990s, bourbon started to boom again. But there is not enough liquid, and people like to drink more and more quality. And they realize that actually bourbon keeps the value. So if you buy a bottle, let's say $1,000 Hong Kong dollar, if you know which bottle to buy, probably in 4 years it's going to be 10,000.
Wow.
So people started to look for those high-end bourbons, which is this one is a 10 and 20 years old bourbon mix blend. So basically, it's like it's a well aged. You don't age as much as you're using with Scotch whiskey, like 21 years. Sometimes 50 years. You don't do this in bourbon because it's brand new oak. It's becoming very woody if you do.
Yeah.
So,
which one has the greatest investment value?
in our
Market.
so Master's Keep is our highest expression.
Master's Keep.
Master's Keep. So this is the Master's Distillers choice. We have 10 now. 10 different expressions.
Wow.
I brought you one of my favorite. This is Decades. This is a 10 and 20 years old whiskey mix. We can try it in a second. And
Should I pour it now?
Yeah, please do. So we just opened an office, Campari Hong Kong office.
Crafted with conviction, Wild Turkey, Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, Decades. So this is what inside the label. And then on the cork, like I don't know why Eddie loves to look at the cork.
It's actually a beautiful cork. It's
beautiful
actually copper. It's copper.
This is
You see, it's quality.
It has weight.
It is quality.
Yeah. So how would you mix it with cocktails?
This
You
one
know-
is for sipping,
This one you don't mix it. This one you don't mix it.
Little bit. You can smell it.
You know, when we ask Eddie Russell, Jimmy Russell, our master distillers, and Jimmy Russell is the oldest master distiller in the world, not just in bourbon, but in any spirit. And when I ask them, like, how do you drink bourbon, And they are like, and you always wait that, the big answer is going to come, you put it on ice, you put a bit of water, and then you do this. And the answer was,
Pour it out,
just
hold
drink it as you like it, So,
Pour
very
it out.
interesting.
Okay, I try if I'm correct, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so to me, for the correct and clean glasses is the important thing. So we stir a little bit, so let the smells comes out, but do it like a bit further away than you do to the wine. Especially for you Western guy, your nose is too pointy, so don't dip your nose super inside.
Especially mine.
Yeah, but just do like far away like this, and then so you can smell how you smell like, but you won't get choked by the alcohol.
And can you tell me when they are swirling it around the glass, what can you see?
You can see the legs.
You can see the legs.
I like legs as well.
Exactly. Yeah, nice legs. So the slower it drops and the more it is, the more aged the whiskey is, because the more sugary from the wood, the more cellulose interacted, the more aged and the more valuable the whiskey is actually. And in bourbon, you're not allowed to add any flavorings and any coloring.
Artificial coloring or
Yeah.
Any coloring, in fact, with Scotch whiskey you can add caramel, like natural caramel in there. In here you cannot. So it's a natural color.
No, okay.
Yeah, in every bourbon.
Yeah.
So that's why some average bourbon, to me, I thought they tart the oak really, really tarted and make it a toasted flavor to cover or whatever, and then to substitute as they can't do the caramel. This is not nice. I like the balance. So I can smell the more. Okay, this one I can smell a bit spicy, more oaky, but less the sweetness than this one. In the nose, let me try how it tastes.
Yeah. So for the 8-year-old, we are choosing a certain level of barrels because we have seven different levels.
This is so smooth.
It is smooth, right? Yeah, this is very different. Yeah. That's why the masters keep, And
it's much less. It's more subtle. When the first sip I have, maybe because it's the first sip, especially after the spicier one.
Yeah.
I have less. I can catch less flavor from this. But now this one, I have the second sip. I can feel more from the whole thing, from my flow and the aftertaste, and then the fruit character, round, still a little bit spicy as bourbon, but it's still round at the ending, and then it lingers until now. I'm still talking.
Yeah.
We are all slow drinkers.
Good. Yeah. This should be sipped slowly. This should be sipped. So yeah, it's an amazing product, and. Yeah, so this one it's not your everyday bourbon when you go and just having shots, This is, you need to respect it. It's a non-chill filtered, So it's basically it's totally natural colors, it's coming out like this, no charcoal filter, it's something very special.
It's not that wild turkey I have ever before. Even the other one you get me or get your honey before.
Yeah.
Before you go, I forgot which one. Yeah, before
I think it was Russia's Reserve.
Yes.
Yeah, Russia's Reserve. Russia's Reserve is quite a smooth bourbon as well. Yeah, that's coming from the middle of the warehouse. Because our warehouse is we call it natural aging.
Yeah.
So it's just basically some wood put together, and the wind can blow through it. The rain can go through it, and each level of the of the warehouse, the floors, aging differently. So this is the whole.
So you don't have literally you don't have some super duper technical artificial thing. You just let the wing.
We don't have any temperature control. We don't have any humidity control. It's natural, and that's why our master distillers they're trying the barrels, and just trying was barrel number 21670. It's aging amazingly good. This one has to go into the master's keep, and the recipe is the same. So the recipe is the same. The only thing is that how it's aging and where it's aging in the warehouse. Except the rye. The rye has obviously the different recipe, but all the rest of the master's keep, water keys are the same recipe. It's big amount of corn, big amount of rye, and a bit of malted barley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what about the water? And do you need some special kind of water to do this?
Yeah, thank you. A good question. So basically, we are using Kentucky from the Kentucky River, and the funny story behind the Kentucky River is that this is one of the 3 rivers which are actually flowing up north. So it's going up north, and this is sweet water. It's Elmer Tilly said that this is a sweet water because it's full on minerals. And this is what we actually need for bourbon production, and lots of most mainly all the bourbons using this water.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Sometimes you drill a well, and then you're getting it from the ground. Sometimes you directly from that river.
Yeah.
Obviously, you purify it a little bit, you clean it, and then you bumping it into these stills.
Water.
Sweet water because it's full of minerals. So it's mineralized and just the taste it's sweeter exactly because there's lots of magnesium and there's lots of minerals in there.
Yeah. And how would you pair this whiskey with food like such as steaks or what else?
Yeah, thank you. So obviously it's American whiskey, so it goes very well with any barbecue, So this is we have a few bars which we are focusing on, and definitely very good with smoked meat. Super good. If you are going into the higher level, it's very good with desserts, and just a desserts and a cigar.
Yeah, cigar.
Just have a cigar. Have some dessert, and it's really the sipping. And here you can do it in cocktails, so you can do like even long drinks. My colleague Alicia and me, we are always drinking wild turkey sodas. So it's soda water. We call it wild turkey highball. Very refreshing drink. You put a bit of lemon there.
I know I'm a professional bartender. I say I drink wild turkey with wild turkey.
Yeah, good. Yeah, exactly.
Not even ice. I drink wild turkey with wild turkey.
You shouldn't, If you feel it a little bit stronger, then you can add a little bit of water, a little bit of ice in there,
Yeah.
So, because it's a bolder drink, right? So, some people would find it probably a little bit
I know it's a
on
bit
the stronger
strange.
side.
On me at work, we have office for surface. I have iced tea. It's English Lipton iced tea actually. We don't make it super strong, but
Okay.
Actually, I found it. Maybe we have good water as well. I use that water to make the iced tea. I add a bit of water. I add that kind of iced tea.
Yeah,
It matches pretty well with one.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Okay, next time we try. Good.
So if we walk into a bar, Hong Kong bar, and can we order this wild turkey?
Yeah, there's a few bars they're doing it. So we have our we call it key accounts. So smoke and barrels, honky tonks, essential. We have at Makahiki as well. We have a few higher level. You can definitely. It's a really good in gifting as well. So it comes in a beautiful gift box.
Chinese New Year coming, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Chinese New Year. And
Chinese New Year is coming. Christmas is coming.
Yeah.
So you can order it either from a MetaBev website or just contact us because we have an office as well now, Campari. We just opened an office.
Yeah.
So you can order it from there, and yeah. And this you can find it in many bars. This is
Wild turkey. I don't know why. I think it's a hard question to myself. Why so many whiskey or bourbons brand love to use chicks? The wild turkey with goose and we have famous, and then also not even whiskey. Even we have really good. Why always chicks?
So this is a good story actually. Why wild turkey? It's because the company belonged to Austin Nichols. It's like a chain store in America, a chain of grocery stores, and one of the executive of this chain store, Austin Nichols, he went down for the wild turkey hunt, and he remembered the Ripey Brothers whiskey. It's a bit bolder. It's like, and he remembered that can we have the same whiskey what we had on that wild turkey hunt, and he started to call it the wild turkey whiskey, and that was 1840. And 1940, sorry, and 1942 when the first label as wild turkey started. Before that, it was Ripey Brothers whiskey. It's an Irish family. Yeah.
You see a turkey here.
Yeah. There's a turkey there. There's a turkey here. Yeah. We have turkeys everywhere.
Is nice or this one.
Okay. So we are very glad to have Zoltan tonight, and remember, whenever you want to drink whiskey, think of wild turkey.
Yes, please. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. So, shall we talk about more about whiskey next time?
Yeah, definitely. We have so many, different. We have Glen Grant Scotch whiskies, and definitely next time I'm coming very soon to Hong Kong again. And
when you get a Glen Grant, the one I don't know whatever you're choosing, but the bottle is out. I want to try what you choose.
Sure.
Yeah, because short story.
Let's do it.
Cheers.
I've been in a whiskey tasting.
Sure. See you next week.
Cheers. Thank you.
Okay.